Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash, Barakatah. Double honors to the elders and apostles and the righteous men of Great Millstone who teach us this truth and righteousness and sincerity and in brotherly love. And salutations to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 men of Yasharallah, and the one-third men, women, and children of Yasharallah. Shalom. This is your brother Shamya coming back at you one more time from the Great Millstone, Helena, Montana camp. And we just going to jump right to it. We ain't going to waste no more time. And we always like to make a disclaimer. We are not a hate group and we are not an extremist group. Okay? We are a truth group and we only bring out the truth according to the word and power of Yahweh, Baham, Yahweh Shai. Okay? The God of Israel. Okay? And we'll just right into it. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai had the spirit jump on me to do this lesson. I was just doing some research and stuff on some of like the like horror movies of like the 1980s and the 70s, and there was one horror movie that came across the page, was in the movie from the 70s, The Exorcist, you know. And yeah, they said they basically said that was one of the I think the best, or if not one of the best horror movies of all time. But it's up there. It's up there. When I saw that movie for the first time, I was scared shitless. You know, and but so I mean, I was doing research and stuff on horror movies, and when I did some research more on like the movie The Exorcist, the lead character, the lead character that played the demonic spirit that jumped on the girl in the movie, the girl at the time who played the character, her name is Linda Blair, and she played the girl in the movie. Her name was Reagan McNeil. Okay, so Linda Blair was the one that played the character Reagan McNeil in the movie, Linda Blair. So I decided to do like some research and stuff, and what was really fascinating to me is that Linda Blair actually had a relationship with um Rick James. So I was amazed, but like, wow, that's like, I didn't know that shit. So Rick James and Linda Blair had a relationship together, like in the early '80s, coming into the '80s, right? And so I said, you know what? Let me read this bio because this is very interesting. And let me just read this real quick, because the reason that I brought this out, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai had me bring this out, because the wickedness of these wicked ass women, man, is like it's treacherous. It's like it's a scary thing, but it's like it's treacherous and evil. How women just do this manner of wickedness, especially with adultery and all this. It's like it's horrible, misusing their bodies. But let me read this real quick. This is for well, first, you know what? Let me read this song that Rick James came out with. And Rick James, it was a hit back in the 80s. The song was called Cold Blooded, right? And this is on Wikipedia. It says Cold Blooded is a funk song written and recorded by Rick James in 1983. Okay, so yeah, he did this song in 1983. It was a top 10 hit. So it says James wrote the song about his relationship with Linda Blair. So then now we go back to Linda Blair. Now this all coincides together. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read Linda Blair. So it says this is about her personal life on the Wikipedia page. This is her personal life. It says this. This woman was fucking wicked in the fucking late 70s, early 80s. I mean, she was getting down, with that fucking wickedness. It was like, it was crazy. So this is Linda Blair, her personal life. Wikipedia page, it says at age 15. At age 15, but she didn't. I mean, she ain't getting in trouble. Nobody didn't go after her back then. Ain't nobody let that been you know some Jake that's um as an adult man, and he was famous, and then he was dealing with like a 15-year-old back then. Man, they would have been on him like white on rice, man. But yet this wicked ass bitch right here, Linda Blair, I'm gonna read it one more time. It says, at age 15, so she was under 18 when she did all this wickedness. Linda Blair, personal life at age 15. Blair dated Australian singer Rick Springfield, 25 years old at the time. So Rick Springfield, who was a famous musician, he was 25 at the time, but she was 15. But like I said, let that would have been a Jake. That is, it would have had a whole 360. It would have been way different. But it says Rick Springfield, 25 years old at the time, whom she met during a concert at the Whiskey A Go Go. So there you go. She's 15 years old, gadding abroad, being wicked. What the fuck is her ass doing at a fucking concert? 15 years old. I mean, this was back then too, but still, she ass need to be at home. But we gonna keep reading. This is what happens when we don't keep these women at home. That's what the scriptures say. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai said it. Keepers at home. These women need to be their ass at home. It says, because if you don't, this is what happens. Look at this. Check this out. It says, she dated Rick Springfield. It says she also dated Deep Purple bassist Glenn Hughes. So she was 15. She dated Rick Springfield when she was 15. Then she dated bassist Glenn Hughes, Deep Purple bassist Glenn Hughes, and Neil Giraldo. So she dated two guys in the same band. Okay, one was the bassist for the band, Glenn Hughes, and Neil Giraldo, guitarist and future husband of Pat Benatar. It's like, god damn, like it's insane. But that's how what they say when these days when a man asks a woman what's your body count, it's like you can only imagine what this woman's body count was. They just telling you who, because these people were famous. It says bassist Glenn Hughes and Neil Giraldo, guitarist and future husband of Pat Benatar. It says between late 1979 and mid 1981, Blair dated Styx guitarist Tommy Shaw. So after she did that movie, I'm talking about like maybe probably 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81. It's like years of wickedness. It says between late 1979 and mid 1981, Blair dated Styx guitarist Tommy Shaw. Blair also dated Jim Dandy Magram of band Black Oak, Arkansas in the early 1990s, all the way up into the 90s. In the early 90s, Blair was in a relationship with actor Wings Hauser. Linda Blair played, so she said right here, in the early 1990s, Blair was in a relationship with actor Wings Hauser, all the way up into the 90s. Okay, but then what I really wanted to do was get back on like how she was dating Rick James. So let me go back to the original of Rick James, because we're gonna get to the song Cold Blooded, because so we know that he wrote this song Cold Blooded, because it was because of what Linda Blair did. This is what she did. It says um, this is under in the Wikipedia wiki background and recording. Okay, background and recording. Okay, yeah. So let's read this real quick. It says in the wiki background and recording, it says Rick James began dating Linda Blair in the fall of 1982. In early 1983, she aborted their baby, then informed him she had been pregnant after the procedure. That's some wicked ass shit right there. It says James was hurt by her decision. You think? James was hurt by her decision. He wrote Cold Blooded about Blair. It was about how Linda could freeze my blood. He wrote in his memoir. So before she even started dating, or so-called dating, because it's just adultery. So before she got with Rick Springfield, she was already, according to her personal life, with how she dealt with like at least 5 guys before she even met Rick Springfield. I mean Rick James. You know, she was dealing with like 4 or 5 guys. Then she got with Rick James, and then he knocked her up, and then she aborted the baby, and it was just all manner of wickedness, and to this day, women do these things. What this woman is doing, this ain't nothing new. She did it back then, and they're doing it now. And see, but it's only worse these days. So let me get this first precept. I don't want to keep rambling. Let's get this first precept real quick. This is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, and verse 26. This is what it reads. Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26. It says this: For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. Okay? And the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. And you could imagine back then, you know, because I looked at Linda Blair when she was young. It's like, you know, damn, she was doing the damn thing, and you know she could be a Jake too, but she was doing the damn thing. So I can see why you know Rick James went out there. I mean, it was wicked, it was adultery, but still he you know so you know she you know she was doing the damn thing back then. Okay, but it just like what we just read. Rick James, he saw the ass, the titties, the thighs, the youthfulness, the plumpness, and everything, the seductiveness in her eyes, and he fell for it. We're gonna read this precept again. It says, Proverbs 6 and 26, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. See that? That's Rick James. Yeah, he got with Linda Blair, you know, and the adulteress, that's Linda Blair, will hunt for the precious life. Real quick, this is in Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 26 in the New Living Translation. A prostitute will bring you to poverty. You know, Rick James, man, he went as he had a couple of hit records, and after that, man, he just went downhill, man. He just went downhill. The drugs, the alcohol, the Yahweh Shemel Shai bugging him out. He got bugged out. It says, for a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. And we know that Rick James is no longer with us. I believe, when did he die? I think it was 2004. There you go. Let me read it one more time. It says, for a prostitute will bring you to poverty, but sleeping with another man's wife will cost you your life. So, you know, Rick James, he ain't with us no more. He in the spirit world. He died like 2003, 2004. But all that wickedness that he did back then, hey, the Lord punched his clock. So, anywho, now let's read Let's go to let's read the last of this too. So it says let's go to Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 14. Okay, we ain't gonna make it too long. We just gonna hit the points and that, you know. So Proverbs 22 and 14, it reads. It says Proverbs 22 and 14, and it reads, "The mouth of a strange woman is a deep dip." It is Slakia. The mouth of a strange woman is a deep pit. He that is abhorred of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, shall fall therein. Okay? Real quick in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22. Salakia. So Proverbs 22 and 14, it reads in the New American Standard Bible, it says this, Proverbs 22 and 14, "The mouth of an adulteress is a deep pit." So when you fuck with an adulteress, you just dig yourself into a deep ditch. For real. And I know a lot of dudes that's in adulterous ass relationships right now as we speak. Even I know women that are in adulterous relationships right now as we speak. But the majority of like the men, we talk about the men right now. It said, what does it say again? It says, New American Standard Bible, Proverbs 22 and 14, "The mouth of an adulteress is a deep pit." Okay? He who is cursed of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will fall into it. So if the Lord ain't dealing with you, matter of fact, it says it right here. This is in a New Living Translation. It says this: "The mouth of an immoral woman is a dangerous trap." It's a trap, a ditch. Okay? "Those who make the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai angry will fall into it." And like I said again, Rick James is one of those victims. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai took him out. Many more, many more, many Israelites that are in adultery right now. They don't think that nothing is going to happen, but that's wrong. The Lord is going to bring judgment upon them and destroy them. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So it says. Now I want to go to and I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson too, because the Lord is bringing judgment upon these adulterers and these adulteresses. Okay, so this is Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Okay, and we're gonna shut it down after this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7. And verse 26. Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. And it reads, "And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her." Man, there's so many Jakes that have got just completely obliterated when these by these women make false allegations on them and do all manner of wickedness against them, to where these wicked ass women get these men in trouble when they're innocent, and then they serve like 10, 15, 20 years in prison for just dealing with a wicked ass woman. But again, that was all Yahweh Shema Shai doing that too, because it says it again. I'm gonna read it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it in the New Living Translation, Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. This is what it reads, and it reads. It says, "I discovered that a seductive woman is a trap more bitter than death. Her passion is a snare, and her soft hands are chains. Those who are pleasing to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai power will escape her, but sinners will be caught in her snare. And that's why I always pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai too, that uh, you know, that He protect me from wicked women, because this flesh is weak. And of course I be seeing fine ass women and stuff, and you know, uh, and I don't wanna piss the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai off. I want to do everything I can to please the Lord, because the Lord, if I was doing any wickedness, the Lord can send like, okay, I'm gonna send this wicked ass woman in Shami's path and just just fuck them all up with it. It's like, no, I'm dead. Shoot, I fear you out by Shemal Shai, okay? Let me read it one more time. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh by Shemal Shai shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Barakatah. Double honors to the elders and apostles and the righteous men of great millstone who teach us this truth and righteousness and sincerity and in brotherly love. Until the next lesson, Kwam Yasharala and Abba Babal. Shalom.